You are listening to episode 63 of This Makes Me Happy. Welcome to This Makes Me Happy, a podcast about people and what makes them happy. I am your host, Bernardo Margulis. I'm a designer, art director, and educator, and I'm the principal of This Makes Me Happy, a design studio where I help my clients with branding and visual communications. I'm very happy to present This Makes Me Happy, the podcast, where each week I chat with a different person about what makes them happy. My guests come from all walks of life, and each of them shares their own personal happy stories. Join us every week for a unique conversation.
Hello. Today I am very happy to be talking to Zach Medina. Zach is the Chief Operating Officer and co-founder of Viral Ideas. And interesting fact, we had Dave Feynman a few weeks ago, who is your co-founder, but I met you first, and then I met Dave through Slack, completely random. And then Dave made the connection with you, even though you and I know each other. So it's a good circle back connection thing, or maybe not that interesting as I thought it would be, but it is. Zach, how you doing?
Doing well, man. Doing well.
And else from being COO and co-founder of Viral Ideas, is there anything else you want people to know about you?
No, I mean, I'm super focused on viral ideas. So anything related to viral ideas, I'm happy to share.
And you guys are killing it. You were telling me, we had a chat, like 2 weeks ago about what you're planning for your business. And you told me you're pretty booked for the summer. It sounds like you guys are doing pretty well. So if anyone needs the viral videos, go to them now because they're killing it. So else from Viral Ideas, I want to get to the main part of the conversation and figure out, Zach, what makes you happy?
Yeah, so before jumping on this, I did obviously, I looked at your site and went through some of the podcasts, and I kind of looked at on a deeper level. And although it sounds a bit cliche, my health is really just what makes me happy. Now, when I say my health, obviously good health, because to get deeper into it, the reason why is because I actually have an autoimmune disease called ulcerative colitis. And basically, I've been dealing with this for over 2 years now, in and out of the hospital and things like that. So the second time in the hospital, which was about a month or so ago, I just realized how important your health is, because if you don't have your health in order, if it's not, if you're not in good health, honestly, nothing else matters. So as a whole, I would just say that my good, having good health when I can is so important. And that's truly what makes me happy.
And I'm really sorry to hear about your autoimmune situation. But it sounds that you took it to the positive side and it's helping you take awareness of your good health. Is this a direct response to being diagnosed, or is this you've always had this perspective of good health is important?
I'll be honest, I didn't really think, you don't really think about it until something, happens, right? So I was kind of looking back. I don't know if you have this on your phone, but Facebook has like, on this day, how X number of years ago, or I also use Time Hop, which shows you what you did so many years ago. And, I was seeing what I was eating, the things I was doing and whatnot. And it's like, wow, I could likely not do that now. Like the one thing was eating from Burger King, they had an ice cream sundae with bacon on it and all this other stuff. And although I'm sure that tastes great, it definitely isn't the greatest for you, and especially with something with ulcerative colitis. So, no, I mean, to answer your question directly, I would say the more doctor visits I've been to, the more hospital visits, you kind of just realize like, wow, like your health is just so important. And I think it's even more important to flip it and think positively instead of dwelling on the fact that, oh my God, I have this autoimmune disease. Why not flip it and think of, well, why not live your life to the best and not really dwell on if you would call it the negative things, how some people may look at it.
So tell us more about that, about seeing things positively. How does that go for you? Do you have to actively say, well, this is a situation I have, but I'm going to make the best out of it? Or is it a lifestyle change that you've made? How does that work?
So I actually, back in, I want to say, I was in the hospital in around July 13th. And, I was just doing a lot of reading on nutrition and health and things like that. And I believe that a lot of it contributes to what you eat. Now there is some disagreements with that. Ulcerative colitis is basically an autoimmune disease in your colon. So basically, anything that you eat is going to go through that. So I just, in my own opinion, I just think that the healthy eating you'll benefit from that. So I did turn into I tried doing becoming a vegan. I've actually done that consistently since I've been in the hospital, which has been nice. And just really focusing on eating much more healthy. I need to start, working out and things like that. Haven't done that yet, but really just the health oriented things. And also I would say more or less like thinking positively, doing things that are right for you. So I even, do some meditation or some yoga and things like that, which will overall help your overall health. And even help keep your stress level down a little bit, which also can contribute to what they call flare-ups and ulcerative colitis.
So how has this translated into other aspects of your life?
Owning a business, starting it out with just two people. So Dave and I started it. You realize that at sometimes it's just you and your business partner, which can be good and bad. But when you have your health in order, it does make it much, much better. I think you can work a little more efficiently and have an open mind. But yeah, I mean, it just really goes back to what I'm doing on a daily basis, to try to not look at it as a negative part of your life. So instead of thinking, oh my gosh, tomorrow I could have a flare up as they call them, I could look at it and go, well, you know what? Why not just do everything I can to do what I want to do and not stress about what could happen and just really worry about the possibilities of achieving what you want to achieve. So I would say, aside from just flipping it positively, I look at it as do everything that I can that I want to do in my life, not restrain myself from anything.
I think it's really interesting because we tend to think of I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this, and so I don't know if in your experience it's a similar thing with life. Instead of saying I'm not going to do A, B, or C because I can, saying all right, I will do X, Y, Z. We'll display all the other stuff. I don't know. Maybe I'm interpreting for you, and I usually don't like doing that. But I'm just thinking of my own experience, how that exists.
I definitely agree. I actually, as you can imagine, there's not that many vegan food spots currently. They're growing, but there's not that many. But luckily, there's one down the street from our office called Love Food, and the owner's name is Facundo, really cool guy. And we were talking about how a lot of people look at it negatively. Oh my gosh, you can't, what do you mean you can't eat a cheeseburger or you can't eat a steak or things like that? And, Facundo was saying, why not look at it as there's so many more fruits and vegetable options than just what what we generally have on our plate. So generally we usually have either chicken, steak, fish, or like a pork. So that's like four to five options. Whereas with vegetables and fruit and different things like that, it's insane how many options are out there. So I definitely want to anchor in that point there. I definitely agree with you.
So thinking about going back to the idea of how you were on Facebook checking out eating the bacon burger and getting all this stuff, do you ever realize that you were actually harming yourself? Like, do you ever ask yourself, like, how could I enjoy that knowing what I know now?
Looking back and thinking, what was I doing to myself? I also think that aside from just eating, I also think it's also a stress factor too. So I look back and you see certain things that happened to you in the past and you're like, wow, that was definitely like the ulcerative colitis building up. For example, in high school, there was some times in class where I just couldn't sit there. I would have to run out and race to the bathroom, and some of the teachers wouldn't, they would think like, oh, he's just making this up or whatever, and it was truly a problem. But it was people just, or the doctors just said, oh, it's just stress, but it was stress induced, but it was really the ulcerative colitis, and not knowing that, I was known for eating gallons of ice cream each night. Well, maybe not gallons of ice cream, but eating from a tub of ice cream each night, and oftentimes racing to the bathroom, but not really connecting the two, thinking, oh, this could be something bad. It wasn't until you start having to go to multiple different specialists and actually basically just going to the hospital and having them tell you, yeah, you can't eat for the next 3 to 4 days because it's that bad. And it just kind of puts everything in perspective, and you kind of realize like, wow, there's so much more to life than what we actually perceive. Because I think a lot of people think, oh, there'll always be tomorrow. There'll always be tomorrow. But like when you deal with something so important, which is your health, sometimes that's not always the option. So I always kind of flip it and think, you know what? Why not do everything that's good for me? Although certain foods may taste good, I know they're not good for me. Of course, I would love to have a cheeseburger, but like I know it will be horrible for me if I eat that.
So before, just picking back on what you said, that there's not a lot of vegan stuff near you. Next time you're in Center City, let me know. And there's a couple of great vegan places. I'll take you.
Awesome.
Now, something you said really struck a chord with me. You mentioned that before doctors said it was just stress and they wouldn't know what it was. And not comparing situations because everyone's health is different, but I have some issues with my feet. And for years, doctors said, oh, he just got tendonitis, whatever. Just wear arch support and you'll be fine. And I felt terrible because my feet hurt all the time. And doctors were saying, oh, it's nothing, you're making it up. To a point where someone actually told me I was making it up. Yep. And then all of a sudden, one doctor did a different test. And he said, you don't have tendonitis. You actually have an issue. Your feet hurt because there's a real thing going on. And I remember for me, getting that validation that I'm not making up this pain, that it's real and that there is a health situation, even though it was worse because the cause was way worse than we thought. Just knowing and being able to take care of it and take charge with it was so empowering for me. Did that happen to you also? Was that a similar experience to when you found out it wasn't just stress, it was a real situation?
Yeah, I mean, whether it's just the general public, like I'm obviously in a lot of like these different ulcerative colitis groups. Go figure. There's a lot of them, but like there's certain Facebook groups, and we often talk about the fact that it's a hidden disease, meaning you could look at me and I look fine. I really do. But inside, so basically inside your colon, there's just bloody ulcers. And that's what, your body is, that's what it basically spits out eventually when it goes out of you. So yeah, I definitely agree where people may say, oh, well, you look fine. And it's like, yeah, but you don't see me going to the bathroom 15, 20 times a day. They don't realize what your stomach's feeling like, and they don't see the result of what's happening. So I 100% agree that certain people, I don't think they mean to, because they just look at you and they say, oh, you look fine. But no, I definitely agree where people may look at you and not really believe that something is truly wrong.
So how do you combat that, or does it not even matter?
I've noticed it more with going down the vegan route, and I combat it by not trying to preach about it, I would say. I'm willing to talk about it, but it's not my job to try and convince you or someone else or even people listening to this podcast that, oh my God, you should go vegan. That's to me not what you should do, or I shouldn't be the one preaching that you should do this a certain way. I kind of just accept what they say, and maybe eventually they'll experience something in their life that will change their perspective to kind of see it the way I'm seeing it. But 4 years ago, I may have been them. We're looking at someone and thinking, oh my God, they're vegan. The stereotypical, like, what, you're going to be so annoying to go out to eat with and all this other stuff. Like, people look at you that way, but at the same time, I wouldn't want to be preached back at saying, well, you should go vegan because of blah, 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 and blah. Like, let it just happen instead of trying to force someone into something.
For what it's worth, I love going out with vegans because you guys pick the best. Like, you do your. I mean, I don't know if you've traveled since you've started going vegan. My friend Christine, I've traveled with her a couple of times. We've had a few engagements, and when she says like, "Oh, where do you guys want to go?" I'm like, I know you're doing the research. I know that you have the. We went to Dallas earlier this year, and she picked the best. There were two vegans with our group. They picked the best brunch space to go. There are all the things I don't eat. Like, I keep a certain level of kosher, so I don't eat meat at all, and then I don't eat poultry unless it's kosher. And I had waffles and chicken, which I've never had in my life. And I was like, all right, if you're a vegan, you're controlling where I'm going to eat because you will do a better job than I can. So
exactly. No, I 100% agree. I mean, you can even ask Dave this next time you chat with him. He's like, he'll see me sometimes just doing research on before I go out or we go out. I'll look at the Yelp things. I'll look at the menu. I'll go real deep inside of it. I'll even sometimes look at what does this space look like, because I'm very like based off the environment. I like to feel a certain way when I'm in an environment. But no, I 100% agree. We do so much research to figure out what we think is the best instead of just showing up to a place and hoping that they have something vegan on the menu.
Yeah, I'll be like, oh, I'll eat a salad or I'll eat the French fries. It doesn't matter. And then vegans are like, oh, no, this is where we can get a whole 3-course meal and it'll be the best meal you've ever had. It's like, okay, I'm eating with you.
No, it's funny to hear that because it's exactly what I do.
And 2 weeks, the episode's currently out. So I guess this could be like a month and a half when yours comes out. Tara Schreiber, she was telling me about this vegan place in New York that I'm so excited by Chloe. I'm so excited when I go to New York next time just to try it out. Just hands down, convinced. I'm not vegan, but I'm convinced that vegan spots are the best spots to eat. So everyone out there, just go to your favorite vegan person and ask them for advice. What's your favorite food, or is there something that you've discovered, food or routine or anything since making a positive change for your health?
Smoothies. And it's not the smoothie that you think of that it's filled with sugar. Aside from just being vegan, I also try to like watch how much sugar I'm in taking in. But I look forward to my smoothies every single morning. My favorite smoothie is I take an avocado, a banana, piles of spinach and kale, and you put in some orange juice, and then I put in some it's like this, it's called green vibrance or something like that. I get it out at Whole Foods, and I love it. I could live off smoothies every single day. And I often do live off smoothies almost every single day because luckily we have a spot down the street from us also near Love Cafe, which is called Nourishing Storm. And they're awesome with making sure your health is in order and things like that. And they're willing to change things to make it vegan for you. So they have an amazing smoothie menu, and I'm always there. I'm like, can we make this vegan? Which one's the best smoothie? And they're always introducing new ones. So I could live off smoothies for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, assuming that there wasn't too much sugar in it.
Is there anything from the past, again, whether it's food or routine or daily activities, that you used to have before that you miss?
Ice cream. There was this ice cream from not Whole Foods, Trader Joe's. It was just this heavy cream vanilla or something like that. and that was the best ice cream I think I've ever had in my life. Um, so I definitely miss that. But I would say, I don't live in the city, so I don't have the amount of options for vegan restaurants. Which whenever I am in the city, and I love it because anywhere you go, you're a few blocks away from a vegan spot. But where we are in the suburbs area where my office is, I'll look out my window and there's one to two spots, one spot when I look out the window that is actually that I could get something that's vegan, whereas everything else is just very, quote unquote normal American food, which it kind of it sucks at times when you're working so hard and you realize that it's 8 o'clock at night and you're starving. You forgot to make yourself something, and the one spot that you usually go to is closed, and the only spots that are open are the pizza shops or the burger places or McDonald's or something like that, and you're just like, oh, what am I going to eat tonight?
If you haven't
So
tried,
meal prep is critical, I would say, because especially in this kind of environment where owning a startup business is you work such random hours that you just need to have food just piled up waiting for whenever you start getting hungry.
If you haven't tried, Trader Joe's has I don't know if they have it still because I haven't had it in a while, but they have a very good soy ice cream. They have one that's just vanilla, and they have one that's half vanilla, half mango. And if they're still making it, it's amazing.
Really? I'll have to check it. Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
And Ben & Jerry's has a very good non-dairy selection. I'm pretty sure they're all vegan, and their Chunky Monkey vegan non-dairy is even better than the dairy version. I kid you not.
You really know your stuff. I like it. I got to travel around with you in this city. You'll find better spots than I will.
I'll tell you, the V Street. V Street is awesome. Next time you're in the city, V Street, let me know. Make reservations. Bonbon is awesome. I don't go that often, but I know enough. It's funny because being keeping kosher, I've had some limitations that they're not as strict as being vegan, but it's certain rules. You don't mix dairy and meat, so I have to know if I'm serving chicken for dinner, I have to get the non-dairy Ben & Jerry's. So
right.
That's where I got it. The opposite question: is there anything that you used to do before, whether it's food or again activities, that now you look back and you're like, how the hell did I do them? Why the hell did I do them?
I would say no. And the reason being is I kind of look at life as just one big experience, journey, however you want to refer to it as. And you make decisions in your life based on what your mindset is, I think, in that current moment. So, my mindset as I can go back to senior year of high school was, the only thing I was looking forward to was, senior week and, that summer. And my mindset was just going to the gym as much as possible. As much as you think going to the gym is healthy, I was more or less trying to build big muscles. So I was eating all those crappy, the protein shakes with God knows what's in that stuff. But at the same time, that was just the mindset that I had. So I think as you grow, your mindset changes and you realize, whether it's at an early age or a late age, what's really important to life. And I would say really what makes you happy to continue doing what you love, rather than just second guessing yourself and hoping something works out or hoping this is the right decision. Just kind of go with it, and you'll eventually know if it's the right decision. It'll pan out, good or bad.
Okay, Zach, now I have the rapid fire section. I have a few quick questions about what makes you happy, and I just want your gut reaction. Ready to go?
I'm ready.
Who makes you happy?
My mom.
Is there a movie or a song that makes you happy?
I'm sure there is, but I can't remember off the top of my head. A movie or song? I really love the Facebook movie. I don't know if that makes me happy,
Huh.
but I know it motivates me.
What is the last thing you remember that made you happy?
Oh. This is when I got my it's called Remicade. When I got my Remicade IV infusion, and within 48 hours, I started feeling back to life, and the symptoms of my ulcerative colitis were going away.
Finish the sentence. Happiness means.
Doing what you want in life.
Finish the sentence. And happiest when.
I am outside and going where I want, when I want, without anything stopping me.
And what is the first happy moment you can remember?
I know this is rapid fire, but I would think about that. First happy moment that I can remember. I would say when we finally had a team. Now, obviously, Dave and I, technically, two people, I would say, form a team. But when we have our team, our first big team meeting, which was a group of, I think, four or five employees, and you really see your idea and your business coming to fruition, and you also see how passionate and the smiling faces that the workers have because they see your vision. So I would say that's really what struck me, and really what motivates me to keep going is not only are my and Dave's ideas coming together, but it's also contributing to the employees, and seeing them bring it back is really a nice happy moment for me.
So tell us, for everyone, I'm sure everyone listened to Dave's episode, but still tell us a little more about Viral Ideas, and if we want to learn more about you and about the business, where can we find you and the company?
Right. So long story short, Viral Ideas was founded by Dave and I. At the time, we were young. I mean, I guess 24 is still young, but we started 2 years ago. And what we do at Viral Ideas is we create narrative storytelling videos for businesses. So basically, we'll come into a business and really up the par with the video. So instead of just the general point and shoot kind of style, we're creating a narrative story out of it. And we really see the vision of formulating what we believe is mini series or mini TV episodes online for businesses that people will actually want to watch, instead of something that is interrupting them from their daily business or their daily routine. So we basically, at the end of the day, or at the end of any video we create, we always look at it and say, why would someone share this? We're creating videos for social. They have to be shared. Why would someone share this? So that's our core at Viral Ideas with creating videos. In terms of following me, follow Viral Ideas first. That's my baby. Viralideamarketing.com. And in terms of following me, I'm most active on Facebook. Feel free to add me, even though we may not be close friends. I add anybody. And then I'm even more active on Instagram, Zach, Zach, Medina, Medina, and then just the number 1.
Because you're number 1.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Zach, thank you so much for sharing what makes you happy.
Thank you. I appreciate the time.
Thank you, Zach, for sharing what makes you happy. And thanks everyone for listening. A special thanks to Jason Zappolo for editing this episode, Oily Margulies for help with social media, and Rocio Castañeda for ongoing support. You can learn more about this project and listen to all episodes at thehappypodcast.com, and you can find us on social media. We're on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at thehappypodcast, and youtube.com/thehappypodcast. You can find us on iTunes, and if you subscribe, you can get all the episodes on your device, and if you leave us a 5-star review, more people can find us. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you soon.